And then I looked at it and I said, my brand is NYGC. Who is GYNC? Hello you guys, and welcome back to another new video. My name is Taylor, founder and designer of NYGC by Taylor, or Not Your Grandma's Crochet. And this week we're putting together our squares, rectangles, I don't know. If you haven't seen the video posted before this one, then you wouldn't see the process of me putting or crocheting and coming up with the idea of this cardigan. I'm calling it my alphabet soup cardigan, and it's gonna spell out NYGC and be a play on a cardigan that I already have, part of my brand. I have literally been sitting on these for a month at this point. It's November now, and I am ready to get working on this. So let's move over to the bed. So I grabbed the cardigan that I'm using as a reference. This is actually a mesh version of my tied up cardigan, which I have in both a mid-length and cropped length. Honestly, right now, all I'm focused on is actually seaming all of the pieces together, and then I'll work on putting them together later. I don't even really want to like lay everything out. I just want to perfect how I want to go about seaming everything together. This is my first front. This is my right front. I know that because it has a Y that has my neckline shaping. So let's start with this. I think I am going to use the same hook size that I used to make this, which is a 5mm, and I'm going to be using the black yarn, which is what I use to go around all of the pieces. And I think I'm going to do a little slip stitch situation, but let me just do it and then I'll go back through and show you what I'm doing. Let me tell you something. Sometimes we find ourselves in a situation where we just gotta stop. You just have to say, tonight, it's not the night for me to do this. I'm gonna show you something. Look at how beautiful the seams are. My way of putting it together is working out perfectly. I was so happy. And then I looked at it and I said, my brand is NYGC. Who is GYNC? And then I took an even closer look. Why is the G upside down? The theme for this video is 13 reasons why. I will not be explaining. It's getting spooky. Anyways, last night, this unfortunate mess, actually, was I just not paying attention? I think that's what it was. So for now on, before I start a new square, I'm going to lay everything out the correct way so that I don't, because this is just no attention to detail. So we're going to unravel this little bit. Luckily, it literally, once I figured out the best way to do it, which is basically to just go across first and then go that way, it's not painful at all. So let's see. If you hear something in the back, it's my YouTube video that was supposed to go live yesterday that would not render. And now I'm on my 5th attempt to render it. So, anywho, let's watch me do this. the first square is actually complete and I like how it turned out. We have NYGC, also known as my correct branding. And I really like the colors. I do like the black border for this one, but I definitely would be interested in other variations that either have the squares border, or we can get more into other variations later, but suffice to say, I'm quite pleased. This is the length. It is definitely cropped, but let's move on to the next color combo, or the next front piece, which is this one. So last night, before I got frustrated, I wanted to show how I did it. So I'm basically slip stitching over the top so the inside and the outside are very clean, and it just maximizes the length instead of like bunching up at all. And so far so good with that technique. I'm going to continue on with my squares, and I will talk to you when they're all done. I've officially completed my 6 squares of 4 NYGCs, and now it's time to lay everything out and figure out how I want to arrange everything. Something I did want to note, that I don't know how I ended up doing this, but in almost every color square, I put green and blue next to each other. Like literally, literally every single one of these has green and blue next to each other. That was definitely an accident, but my right side, or I think it was my left side, and my right side, then we're gonna need a front and back for those, and I want them to be different than obviously the front. So for now, I'll put this one maybe, and this one. All right, and then that would make the sides probably this one and this one, which you can't super duper see. So okay, once again, we have our fronts, we have our backs, and we have our sides. I'm pretty okay with this. I'm not super happy, I would say, with this one. So I could move those, move it around like this. But then we have those greens next to each other. I don't really think there's any other option, however, because these have to be here. So would I rather purple on both sleeves or have these greens yeah, this feels a little bit too similar, I have to say. This one doesn't work because it's too similar to this side. So what if we did this? I feel like the back feels a little dark. Okay, so what if we did this? Is it gonna bother me that this pink, it feels very close to this? Probably. So let's see if we can switch it. But now the blues are together and so are the browns. I think I'm happy with this for sure. So it's just a matter of thinking. This does kind of work picture-wise because the brown and the brown and the green and the green. If I have to have colors next to each other in the front, then that at least kind of makes some sense. So let's just rock with this. I also want to measure things. I haven't really been doing a good job taking notes for this project, but I do plan to go back and do everything. So currently my squares are about 15 inches long and they are 13 inches wide, so not quite a square. That means my sleeve, let's see, how long is my sleeve? This is about the shoulder length. Let's say the sleeve is somewhere around 22 inches right now, which is good for me. As long as it's about 22 inches, the shoulder, then that gives me enough room to do what I want to do for the arm cuff. And if we're really being specific, I think it's more like 23 inches, which would be perfect because then I could do a 3-inch arm cuff. I am internally stressing about the fact that this pattern isn't necessarily super duper applicable to different sizes, but that's a stress to think about later. All right, let's get putting all these squares together. I think I'm gonna do like side to side and then like do front back arm, front back arm. I think that's a good plan. So I finished putting half of it together, and something obvious pointed out to me. While I was cool with the like brown on brown situation, I forgot that not only did everywhere that I put green and blue go together, but if you look before you, everywhere that I put pink and purple went together. Nearly everywhere that I put, oh actually everywhere that I put blue and purple went. We have quite a few regular color combinations, which is completely fine, but it does mean that I will have to replace this sleeve so that we can at least get a little bit of brown on that side. I'm thinking like a little this moment, right? What do you think? Because essentially what I would like is, I would like for a Y and a C on the sleeve to either have I think this is ideal. My brain is like turning. Because I can either have a pink and a pink touching each other on the sleeve or on the back. And I don't know which I would prefer. But I do know that I need these colors to be a bit more balanced. I do know that. I think this works out. I think. Honestly, working with 5 different colors, especially considering the purple and the brown, I only have 3 squares each of the purple and the brown, as opposed to every other color I have 5 squares of, to make up for the fact that I have a reduced amount of the blue or of the brown and the purple. I knew that I was going to be dealing with a little bit of color repetition, but I do want to just space things out as much as possible, just to make it look more visually different. And I think this will accomplish that. Yeah, okay, let's put that back together. This is where we're at. I want to start with the back because I actually kind of prefer how the back looks. I just feel like the colors look a little bit more well dispersed. On the front, equally, I do like the colors, but I don't know, there's something about it. Let's do a little mock try on moment so I can also talk about the other thing that I am just a little bit unsure about. So this is currently how we're looking. I feel pretty fine about this because on the wrist I already had plans to add like, I don't know, 2 or 3 inches to the wrist, and on the body I was also going to add 2 or 3 inches, so this is fine for me. I am ever so slightly worried about this neckline. The more and more that I like try it on, I feel like it's starting to take a better shape that I can envision, you know, whatever. But I do definitely think a collar is on the horizon, just to distract away from whatever is going on with this neckline. But yeah, I definitely prefer this color arrangement over the brown and green, and we will just have to see how this continues to progress. I'm definitely excited. Don't take my hesitation as me no longer being excited. That wouldn't be true, but I am. This is where like my fear of color work comes into play, so to speak, and I'm trying to push past that fear. So I'm going to put together my second half and then I'll come back. But progress is definitely being made and things are moving in a direction. Good afternoon, girlies. I just completed the second half, so now I have 2 halves, and can we point something out? The sleeves ended up being the exact same on both sides as well as on the back. I guess it was just meant to be, I don't know. But anyways, I'm currently deciding what I want to do next for this typical design. I usually, well, no, actually, okay, I wasn't sure if I like start doing the bottoms first and then I do the sides, but now that I'm thinking about it, I think I do actually do like the bottoms first and then do the sides, like where I'm going to be putting the ties and everything. Even if that's not how I typically do it, I feel like that's the way that's going to make the most sense, because I want this cardigan to have ribbing, and I'm at this current moment unsure how long I want that ribbing to be. I think it's just going to be the most practical for me to start with that ribbing, and then I can decide once I'm doing the tie portion if I want the ties to go all the way through the ribbing or if I want it to like stop at some point, like, you know, not lace all the way down or whatever. So that's what we're gonna do. I just did this for my TikTok, so let me show you. No, you don't get it. I'm actually obsessed. Just wait. Just literally just wait. Speechless. This looks so good. Okay, I'm like I feel like yesterday, last night especially, I was a little bit kind of like I wasn't really giving high energy about things, but are you kidding me? This looks fabulous. Okay, let's get into the ribbing. I'm currently undecided as to whether I should use my 6mm or my 5mm hook that I've been using for this whole project, or if for the ribbing I should go down to a 4mm. I'm undecided because I'm not sure how much I want it to necessarily like cinch in, but I think the effect of using the 4mm might be cool, so we can always just try it out, and if I don't like it, we can unravel it because we have free will. I made some progress with the 4mm hook, and I'm kind of worried that it's like gonna be cinching in too much because I'm thinking that I want this to be at least 3 inches. Like I want it to be a pretty dramatic amount of ribbing, so I think I'm gonna unravel.
You're hopeful and you like are doing all this research and learning so much, and it's a really cool time, and then once you've been in it for so long, it starts to feel a little draining. You feel okay, it's the next day and I'm ready for the next event. I'm going by myself today and I'm so nervous about it. I have such a hard time. Cool. Good morning guys and welcome to another vlog. If you've been around for the last, honestly like 2-ish years, I have been making Taylor Swift custom orders for people.
I have like a crook in my neck and it is really bothering me. Anyways, progress is being made on the ribbing, but I want to measure because I think for the ribbing I want it to be like half, at the very least half of one of my letter squares. Without the ribbing, the cardigan is about 15 inches, and this is a little bit less than 2 inches worth of ribbing right now. The squares themselves are about 7.5 inches or so. So if I looked at doing maybe like a 4-inch ribbing, I think that could work. 16 plus an additional 2-ish to make it like 18 inches. I feel like that's good. I mean, even at 3 inches, it'll probably be okay. So I'm going to keep working and check back in at 3 inches to properly decide. But yeah, I'm thinking 3 to 4 inches or so. Here's a little bit of a better view. I think it's a very cute detail. I just hit 3 inches of ribbing. So now the cardigan is 18 inches total. And just by looking at it, I don't quite like the way that just 3 inches look. I feel like it doesn't quite have the super style dramatized feel that I think I'm going for. I'll put a picture right here of this cute set that was on my IG stories the other day, and I really like how dramatic the ribbing is on that. I don't think that this necessarily demands that dramatic, but I do think I want to go for 4 inches of ribbing, and I might honestly even try for 5 just because I really am trying to like make this, like, it's already gonna be tied up, okay, so that's already gonna help, but I really want this to not feel like your typical granny cardigan. This is not your grandma's crochet, okay? So we need to like really do up the elements that are going to help this to stand out, and the ribbing can either make it or break it, and we need to make it. I think that we are currently we're headed in a good direction, you know? I just want to keep going just a tad bit more. I'm back. I have a conspiracy theory that these Reese's are trying to kill me. I'm still gonna eat them, but I'm on their head. I got to my 4 inches, and if I'm being 100% honest, I don't know how I feel. Let's see. I think I like it. I don't think I would like it, nor do I think it should really go any longer. I do think I like that it's not giving like super crop now. Like, it's giving like moderate to no crop, which I am rocking with. So we're gonna rock with the 4 inches, and if I hate it, I hate it. But I don't think I'm gonna hate it, so I'm gonna move on to the button band. If you want to learn more about how I do my ribbing and how I do my button band, watch an upcoming video that's all about my original NYGC cardigan. For now, I'm just gonna do it, and let's see if it changes my opinion about my 4 inches. I don't think it will though. I just did that so quick. Oh my gosh, I literally just slayed that. Button band done. My new technique is working out swimmingly. And okay, let's do another fit update. It's definitely, I'm seeing the vision. I'm definitely seeing the vision, and this doesn't feel as super duper high on my neck. I think in the next iteration, I might just fully make this a triangle. Like, just fully make this half to bring this down a little bit, but this is fine for me. Next, I'm going to work on this cuff, because then I'll have all 3 ribbing variations figured out, and I can just do all the rest of the sides. For the cuff though, let's see. I just got really excited. I forgot I need to actually decide. I think I probably need at least 2 inches. So, well, actually I can measure, I guess. 2 inches would be like right at my my wrist, but I think 3 inches will kind of give that like demure, like half hidden hand, and I think that's the vibe. So honestly, it's kind of slaying right now, and I do feel like my bottom portion is doing what I want, because now the C is like on my boob for context. Yeah, okay, let's do this wrist cuff, armband, whatever I called it. Good morning, girlies. It's the next day. I've already finished all my work for the day. I've been switching to trying to get all my work done in the morning, so then I can just crochet freely for the rest of the day, as opposed to crocheting for a little bit in the morning, working, and then fitting in crochet towards the evening. Anywho, last night I did get to 3 inches on the sleeve, and I actually already tried it on last night to look. 3 inches looks good, but it's not quite long enough. It's not doing the like wrist thing that I was hoping for. I do know that the sleeve is going to stretch out a bit, and I also know that once I have both sides on my body, this is probably gonna like drop a little bit more off my shoulder, probably like sit more like here. So yeah, I think an additional inch is all I need. On the bottom, I really like the 4 inches, so having the 4 inches match on the wrist makes sense to me. Speaking about the bottom, I know I was a little bit unsure last night, but looking at it in like the light this morning, I actually really like it. I feel like it is kind of giving the elevated vibe that I was looking at, especially with like the button band being here now. I am curious about how I'm gonna feel once the collar is in place. That will be a journey for sure, but for now I'm happy. Let's do this additional inch. It shouldn't take too long. It's currently 11:41. Let's see how long it takes. Okay, boom. I think this is 4 inches. I have not measured yet. Let's check it. Parfait. I just watched a French vlog, so French is top of mind at the moment. Anyways, what I did not do last time is actually count my rows, and counting these rows is actually quite annoying because you can't see it as easily, but I found it. Okay, I should be updating my book. This brings me way more joy than it should, the fact that it's cheetah print. If you didn't know, cheetah print is, okay, the girls are saying this is actually leopard, which it is, but I feel like leopard print, cheetah print. So anyways, this little notebook has brought me so much joy, which is very exciting because I will be using it for the foreseeable future and the future of all my designs. And just to like show, I just feel like I've been feeling a lot more artistic, like my sketches and stuff like that. I don't know. It's the little things, I guess. So let's just do a line for ribbing. Okay, updated. Now I think that while my yarn is already connected and I'm on the right side, as we know, Taylor likes to have as few ends to weave in as possible, and because of this design there are quite a few ends I'm gonna have to weave in, so let's save ourselves as many as possible. So I think I'm going to attempt my single crochets and separating for where my ties are going to go into. It's very easy, but it just requires me to like actively be crocheting, you know. It's not really as passive, but we will get through it.
lost my will to stand. I've let my soul drag on and on and on. Same days, living in myself, going on and on and on. Same pages, never reach that own end. Someday.
Okay, I have completed one half of the cardigan. Let me try it on for you. No. No, this looks so good. Okay, let me like close this in. Stop. Literally stop. 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 Stop it. No, okay. But yeah, this looks great. The rainbow buttons are kind of giving me life. Not necessarily thinking about buttons right now, but if I were, I was initially thinking black, but this color is just kind of fun, but I don't know. Anywho, time to do the second side. I don't know what order I want to do it in quite yet. I was really excited to start working on the collar, but honestly I think I'm going to save that for last. So based on my math, I think if I do the back I'll have to like have a tail. Such is life. Then if I do the arm, I can go straight into the back, and then I do this last side, I can go straight into the arm, button, band, and then we will stitch together for a collar. So let's see how much I can get done tonight. It's currently 8:05. It literally feels so late. Like if you told me it was 10 o'clock, I'd be like, yeah. No, it's 8:05. So let's see how much I can get done tonight. But I'm excited. Also, long time no see. It's currently Monday, November 18th, and I just finished all of the ribbing. This is where we're at, and there's nothing like her. Like, this is like a first time. There's nothing like her. Are you kidding me? Like, do you see the vision? Stop it. Stop. But anyways, I'm currently deciding what I want to do about the neckline. My initial plan was collar, but the more I look at it, the more I'm like, I just don't know if like the collar is gonna like be overboard, and I kind of like the ribbing of it all, so I'm considering just doing the same neckline that I have on my NYGC cardigan. I think I'm going to try it out. It's pretty easy to like take off if I don't like it, and at least it'll give me an idea of something. And if I don't like that collar, then I can always like actually do the collar situation. But I just feel like the ribbing has been a vibe for the rest of it, and this cardigan is like more on like the comfy sophisticated vibe than like the like structure sophisticated vibe of the original tied up cardigan. Like, this one makes sense why it would have a collar, you know? This, but on this, I don't feel like this is quite giving that same vibe. So let's work on the collar. For the neck, I'm basically just doing the same ribbing that I did throughout, but it's only 2 rows of it. I'm very interested to see if I'm going to like this. but I don't know. It's currently 5:17. Let's see how long it takes.
Is just add like a decorative like kind of headline at the bottom by having more fabric so that I can make it the right length for her.
And then the next experiment was the same style, but in the scrappy organza thing that I do. So this needs ties as well. And I need to redo my spine because I kind of rushed it out of just excitement and it's very wrinkly, which I don't like.
It's 7:22. I just finished. It would not have actually taken me an hour, but I was getting distracted on my phone. So anyways, let's try her on. I still have it connected to the yarn just in case I want to make any adjustments. But this is where we're at. You're sitting like in front of a mirror. I don't hate it. The way I said that. I don't hate it. I will say maybe I would want more. Like, I just feel like with the width, a lot of my undershirt is showing, and I don't know if I like that or not. I'm trying to imagine this with a collar. Let me put the pink one on, and then I'll put that one over the top so I can see how the collar would change the vibe. This is the pink one on that I keep referencing. I really desperately need to make these ties shorter. Like, it's a desperate thing at this point. It's always the last thing on my to-do list, so it never gets done. Empty hoot. It's like putting on a poncho. Okay. Guess we'll come closer. This is kind of the vibe it would give. What do I think? What do I think? Don't hate. I do not hate. But I don't know that I love. Yeah, I think I like how clean it looks without. I would say that. So what if I did like 1 or 2 more rows? Because maybe my typical 2 is just not enough. Maybe it needs at least a third. Let's try that. Here is the 2 rows, and I'll come back with 3. Here is 3 rows, and I switched to a white shirt underneath so I could better see how it actually looks. And I think I'm fine with this, because like, you have to imagine this is gonna be like all tied up and whatnot, and I feel like this is gonna be pretty comfortable. I just feel like if I go to 4, I don't want it to exactly be like the button band, you know, so at least with 3 it like covers up more of the neckline, and this is a pretty like high neck shirt, but you know. So the last 2 things we have left is to make and put in all the ties as well as add the buttons. I'm going to make dinner and I'll be back to talk about the ties. I'm back. I have eaten and it is now time to conquer the ties. Fun fact, the ties are my least favorite part of the project because I do them with slip stitches, and while most aspects of crocheting do not hurt my hands, slip stitches, especially into like chains with a small hook, but we do it for the look. So I'm gonna put a photo of the yellow mesh tied up cardigan and the pink crop tied up cardigan so you can kind of see how my ties have evolved a bit. Clearly the pink ones are way too long. It's been on my to-do list for literally the past 1.5 years to shorten the ties on the pink one to make it a lot more wearable and to get some more pink yarn. Like, it's a win-win. The yellow one, I feel like I did pretty well. The back of the yellow one may be ever so slightly too long, and so I looked in my design book and I'm going to keep the length of the arm tie. So if you can't tell, there's like an arm tie going this direction, arm tie going that direction, so there's 2 ties per arm, so 4 of the arm length and then 1 in the back that just like crisscrosses as one big tie. So I'm going to do 350 for the arm ties and 400 because currently it's 450 for the back ties, so I'm going to do 400. I'm still not, maybe I should do 325. Yeah, let's do 325 for the arm ties and 400 for the back tie. Let's get it.
I've got a coochie wedgie in my coochie, feels like it's getting wedged. I've got a coochie wedgie in my coochie, feels like it's getting wedged. I've got a coochie wedgie in my coochie, feels like it's getting wedged. And boom, this little rope took about 40 minutes. Maybe it could have been more like 30 minutes, but still. It's currently 10 o'clock. I will check in the morning with how much progress I make. Good night.
Okay, as you can see, I just finished putting in all the ties of the cardigan. The back one is a little bit long, but I'm trying to like quickly finish things up so I can put this in the wash. And if I need to redo the back tie later tonight, then that's fine, but I just want to be able to like wash everything as soon as possible. It's now time to decide on the buttons, and initially, I know polish is chipping so bad. Initially, I was just going to do black little buttons. I do have these blue ones that match the blue in the cardigan really well. And I also have these like pink ones that match the pink in the cardigan really well. But I think that black is the move. So how many buttons do I need? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 3. This usually is organized, but it just gets shuffled and like the compartments don't perfectly reach the top, so then they slide and it's a mess. All right, 6, and I already have some thread ready to go. I have my compartments situated, so let's see how long this takes. It's currently 12:27. I would really like to be done with all this by 1 so I can get everything in the wash and I can go on my walk. It's 12:50. I'm done. Let's wash it. The cardigan is done. It is, to be honest, maybe a week, 2 weeks later. I have worn this cardigan a few times while I was in California over Thanksgiving, but I was wearing it like a savage. I literally didn't even cut the ends. So I finally took time, weaved in all my ends. No, you literally don't get it. You don't get it. Obsessed. Love the neckline. Love that I ended up going with the black buttons. Love this color combination. I feel like it's the perfect balance of like really fun electric saturated colors along with some of the more neutral colors like the green, the brown, and the black. I love the tied up element. I do go back and forth whether these side ties are a little bit too long, and I did end up shortening the back tie before my flight to LA, but overall love. I also feel like it's not ultra cropped, like it leans more cropped than regular length, but it's not like, you know, up here or anything. It hits most mid-rise waistlines. So yeah, you will be seeing this cardigan on my channel. Hopefully some fun and funky variations, hopefully before the end of the year. On that note, I will be attempting to do a version of Vlogmas. I'm hoping to post 12 videos before Christmas. I can't promise it's going to be every other day. It's kind of a get in where we fit in type vibe, but 12 videos, that is the goal. In the meantime, make sure that you like this video and you subscribe to my channel so that you don't miss any of the content. Also, if you want to see more of me, follow me on Instagram and TikTok, and you can check out my made to order pieces on NYGCbyTaylor.com. And can we just have one last moment for the cardigan? I mean, I'm looking at myself and I'm like, girl, you're slaying. Anyways, bye guys.